All right, well, I am getting word that the Bishi Bashi is ready to go. So right now, we're going to send it over to billyjr82.
Hey, what's up, GDQ? I'm billyjr82. Joining me on commentary, we have JimtheEternal.
Hello, no relation to the fantastic commentator.
We have Poochy.EXE.
Hey, everybody.
And Kitaru.
How's it going?
So they're going to be doing most of the talking during the run because I'm going to need to focus on the game. This game, if you've never seen it before, is kind of like WarioWare, the arcade game. Some of the mini games in it are going to play like a normal speed run. You just go as quick as you can. And others are going to take the same amount of time no matter what you do. In that case, my goal is just to get the highest score possible. We've seen different versions of Bishi Bashi GDQ before, but this is the first time, or this one is arcade only. This is the first time we've seen this version here. And how are we doing on the incentive, Eternal Enigma?
We're currently a little bit short. It's about, let me get it pulled up here. As last I saw, it's currently, let me see. It's currently sitting at about $1,600. So unless there's a major push, it looks like it's not quite there.
Okay, that's too bad, but okay, that's okay. What we're going to do is there are 30 mini games on this. The category we're doing is all stages. So there's two modes to the game. There's a tower and a regular mode. The tower gives us 22 out of the 30 games at random. We're going to keep track of which games we played, and then we'll use the other mode to play the other 8. So you're still going to see all the games, but there are some other bonus things and whatnot that we're not quite going to go for. Some of these games are not exactly balanced very well, so I may lose a life or two, but we're going to do our best to get through it and bless RNG and hope we get through it okay. All right, we ready to begin?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, first we're just going to do some basic character selection here. Characters are very important, and then we're going to be running through the tower. We're going to see 2 mini games at first, and then we're going to see blocks of 5 mini games, starting with the cat game. So this is a mashing game, but it's got a couple of other details to it.
Yeah, this game, like, the quickest way to explain it, because it goes by too fast, it's like basically you're playing a game of Punch-Out. There's phases, there's things you need to do at certain times, you gotta get those timed hits, you know, it's like the Tyson late hits, or like a Don Flamenco Infinite or something.
And treating it like a mashing game will actually triple your score on that one. And we're moving straight into barbecue. This one is a lot less timed. This is just a matter of hitting the correct timing as the various foods go by. You're going to be pressing left, middle, or right in order to put your skewer in the appropriate direction to catch the foods. You want to talk about strategy?
Yeah, one of the easiest ways to play this game as it gets faster is, well, one, you just saw the green peppers. There are some patterns that always are the same button. Green peppers is green, orange carrots is on red, and the shiitake mushrooms on blue. And then for the other random ones, you just want to look at like the top, because if the top one is going fast from like right to left or something, you know the whole thing is going to line up on the left, and so on.
And then the yellow is, of course, the ending button. So every game is going to end with a yellow hit of some kind. And now we're moving into photographs. So this is another mashing game. This one, the goal is to mash the appropriate button for the girl that shows up. Girls are much more photogenic than Daruma or mushrooms.
Yeah, and this one is pretty straightforward. You just kind of got to mash. One of the interesting things about this game, though, is it's the one game that you can get a higher score by delaying your final hit at the end. So when he gets to the last one here, where he's hitting all 3, he's going to wait for like 2 pulses of the finish timer and then hit yellow for the bonus.
As you can see, the score is very balanced here.
Very, very balanced.
A triple S is hard to reach. Rushing straight into the dice game. Oh, this one's atrocious. So the goal of this one is to get your character to advance to the next series by rotating a die. This match is a normal d6, so you know that 6 and 1 are directly across from each other, 5 and 2, etc. And the goal is to rotate it as quick as possible in order to get to the end.
One bit of strategy here is you can actually buffer inputs while the little guy is moving. So if you see the next one is far off, you can rotate it to add 5 or 6 in front and have a 50-50 chance of getting it right away.
This one's a favorite. So this is the balloon game. This is kind of like a Stepmania. You're basically just hitting the balloons as they show up, but as you can see, the balloons don't need to show up in order to be able to hit them. There's 5 specific patterns that can show up, and our boy here has them all memorized.
And all 5 patterns have different 2 starting balloons. So based on first two balloons, you know which pattern it is.
This is origami. This is just a mashing game. Mash as hard as you can. Get it early on. I don't even know if there's any strategy to this. Just press buttons.
Just mash. 0.2 over though.
Almost
Yeah,
there.
this is unfortunately one of the worst balanced.
This is also a good indicator of the. This is a good indicator of the differences between playing as a solo player or playing with other people. The triple S timer is actually easier to reach if you're playing with multiple people. So this one is roulette. This one will give you a set of instructions, and the instructions will have keys to press on one side and what you are doing with those keys on the other side. The things that you can do with the keys is press them once, twice, 5 times, 10 times, hold them for 1 or 2 seconds, or don't press them at all. One of the things that people are going to be watching out for here is whether or not tap has been found, or whether or not the 2 holds have been found. You know that the end is either going to be hold or tap, and if both of the holds have already been hit, you can start mashing yellow ahead of time in order to get a jump on the timer. Nice.
So I do think, since we passed the 7th stage, I don't think we mentioned it yet, but we are in monster mode. That does mean you have to get triple S on every stage in order to not lose a life.
You keep talking?
Yeah, so this game is basically you want to time your hits. You press the button to toggle whether the red or the green is up. And you want to time your hits so the back wheel is passing when you press the button. And yeah, at the end you just want to pre-tap yellow to get through the gate at the end without a delay.
This one is rock, paper, scissors. So the goal is to figure out who has won the rock, paper, scissors minigame. And you're going to press left or right, or if it's a tie, you're going to press the middle button. And then,
go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's important not to make mistakes because you miss a round if you make mistakes. Instead of being just like a 2-point loss, instead of being a 4-point loss, precision is pretty key.
Nice. If you're moving particularly fast, if you're getting good superbs, you can get as high as like a 50 or a 60, but that's really rare. So what we have here is catch with your fingers. In this one, you're pressing the 2 buttons on the side in order to bring your fingers together and catch your fingers in the finger trap. As time goes on, it's going to get faster and faster and faster to the point where you kind of have to just to have a sense of the timing on your own. It's not going to be, well, maybe it's going to be possible to react, but it's not possible for me to react.
Yeah, I think... Nice, perfect there.
It's one of the ones that's easy to miss one because the timing window gets really short near the end. Now we are on Shot Stopper. So this one is a matter of positioning your goalie in order to be able to catch the balls as they move up. The pattern is always the same, so there's never going to be a difference in terms of where the balls are going as the game progresses. And once you have the pattern memorized, you could even do this blindfolded, and some of our people have. The audio is a little bit tough to work with, though, so if you're actually trying to do it blindfolded, it can be very easy to make a miss and then not be sure of where your miss was. But, of course, not super relevant here. This one is Monsters, relatively straightforward. You're going to be pressing the buttons that match the color of the monster that shows up. They're conveniently aligned in columns, so if you can't see color, you can also just do it based on where they are. This is one of the more straightforward minigames. This is actually really cool in multiplayer, though, because everybody gets the same patterns, which means that if you are going a little bit behind one of your friends, you can actually watch their side of things in order to try and catch up and get a little bit of a jump on your own reaction time. 99. Solid. Ah, yes. Crane Catcher. So this one is just a straightforward timing game. As the crane goes across, you need to press any button directly above the arrow. You'll see that because it doesn't affect the game at all, we've gone for the bonus here, which involves pressing a specific sequence of red, green, blue, red, green for the catches at the beginning.
Yeah, and I think the timing for the great, it's probably, if you're familiar with other music games, it's probably similar. It's like 1 or 2 frame type of window. And you get 2 points for a great and 1 point for a good and 0 for a miss. So should get the triple S there. The triple S cutoff is at 33. 34 is a pretty typical score to get and just coast right in.
And I want to go for the bonus anyways, just because it makes it easier to see it.
Yeah, it can be easier to time that way.
This is Invaders. Go for it, go for it.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say this is Invaders, like, since I was still talking a little bit. It's similar to the RPG game, but you'll see the input is a little bit different. To hit the left, you have to press the buttons on the left side, red and green. If you want to hit right, you have to hit right on the buttons on the right side, green and blue. If you want to shoot in the middle, you have to hit red and blue. So you have to kind of get used to this different control scheme in order to, quickly get through the patterns. And sometimes when you see like left-right alternating, he can use his hands alternating, hit green with his thumbs and the outside buttons with his hands, and then just finish the same way as RPG, just mash yellow at the end.
And other than the input differences, it's basically the same as the monster game, as Kitaru was saying, even down to the HP of the final boss, the same number of spams of yellow in order to get through the end.
Right.
This is yet another poop-themed minigame. Keep your eyes peeled, you'll probably see many of these. The goal is to get the toilet seat in the right place and then press green in order to move on to the next toilet. And we have a bonus, because that's basically instinct at this point.
Yeah, I did that by instinct, but oh well.
Yeah, we've all been practicing these, going for bonuses, so it's pretty much muscle memory at this point.
Blocks to cube. This is one of my favorites. So the goal of this one is to complete the block by pressing the appropriate buttons to extrude shapes from the top of the screen. One of the interesting things about this one is you can kind of lead it a little bit. You might see actually the first 3 appear before a shape is even spawned. It'll only drop your cubes once you're done pressing buttons for a certain amount of time. So you can, especially starting from round 4 on, you can lead it with the first 3 because you know there's always going to be that top 3 missing. Moving on to screaming competition. The goal of this one is to mash as hard as you can.
Yeah, you can see his 3 and 2 mashing pattern there. Left hand getting all 3 buttons and right hand getting the other 2.
Good numbers. 312, pretty good.
312 was pretty good.
That's pretty huge.
This game also exceptionally well balanced. Box robots, this one's fun. So this is kind of like Simon Says. You have to repeat the pattern. The pattern grows ever longer. You want to talk a little bit about the strategy?
Yeah, this is one of the games, like Bishi has like a lot of games that have some sort of like randomization patterns that are more common than others. This one, you can see at the end, there's like a string of 5, and that's really common. Sweeps across are less common. Usually you're gonna have some sort of like alternating where like green's in the middle. So then, yeah, the red, green, red, green, red, green is very, very often.
Hang on, sorry, I gotta get my quarters here.
Oh no, yeah, very close.
Also,
That was
there's
pretty much
always
the worst
exactly
pattern,
one,
too,
either
with the
double
sweep.
red or double blue in there.
Yeah, that pattern was a little weird.
Here we have Sharpshooter. So this one is fascinating. You have to press the appropriate buttons for the things that come up, and if you shoot too often, you'll hit the girl behind her, and that is, depending on how deep into the minigame you are, maybe even faster for progressing the game. So the deeper in you go, the quicker she's going to respawn, but in the first, I think, 7, if you actually shoot the girl, then the respawn timer is quicker than if you let her just sit.
Yeah, and you definitely want to mash through on 1, 2, and 5 because they only have single bottles in each hand, and that's not worth it compared to the cans. You just mash, you might hit it, or you might just go through, but it's fine.
Keep going.
Yeah, this is an animation puzzle. You press the buttons to swap to the correct puzzle. There are a lot of visual cues you can look for, like where the horses are positioned. Also, some of the patterns only usually take one button to complete, so a few of them you just look for what the one thing is missing and then swap it over.
That was real slick.
That was pretty good. That was a really good pattern.
Very fast.
It's one of the ones I definitely need more practice on.
Yeah, that was very hard if you're playing casually, but once you've got familiar with the pictures themselves, it becomes a lot easier.
So this is the pair matching game. You have to press the appropriate positions for the girls that are paired and not the one-off. As you can see, it gets quicker and quicker over time. It is always slave to the beat of the music, but if you go past the beat of the music, you're costing yourself time to hit another pair. So the faster you can hit it, the faster it'll move on to the next one and the more points you can get. If you're playing multiplayer, it's sometimes even better to get a miss than to delay it past the point of the beat, because then even if you don't get it right, at least some of your allies will get it right, and collectively you'll get a higher score together. This one is Race to the Top. The goal of this one is to race to the top of the cliff. You're mashing left and right in order to move forward, and you're hitting green once for each step. It doesn't hurt you to go forward, left and right, more than is necessary, but if you press green in extra time, then it'll do a little trip animation and cost you time. So that is...
And that's the tower.
So now we're going to move into one-shots of the remaining mini-games. This is the all games category. So,
oh, look, I won all 22 games.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, good job.
But really the more important stat is this one here. There we go. I pressed 2,369 buttons.
Yes. The Bishi Bashi version of the Thumbs Cup. That's how you know who's the true winner. We're starting with Snowman.
Snowman, all right.
So now we're going to go into the single game mode instead of the tower, and we're going to pick the 8 remaining games that we didn't hit as part of the tower. The first one we're going to hit is Snowman, as I mentioned. This is also a mashing game, but this one requires a little bit more precision. You're mashing left and right, but you need to do it the same amount of times with each button. If you go too heavy on either side, then the snowball will push over to that side, you'll stop accruing points for a brief period of time, and then you have to correct and get it back into the middle. This one also has a huge bonus for hitting yellow on time. So in theory, you could mash a little bit longer before you hit yellow, but the sooner you hit yellow, the bigger that bonus.
Pretty sure that one's a PB. I don't think I've gotten above 370.
Wow, good job.
Nice.
Next is Peekaboo.
What's next? Peekaboo.
So this one is a specific sequence. Green, green, and then red and blue together. that's it. That's the
Excellent.
game.
That game is so easy to get punished. If you're slightly off on any of those buttons at all, it takes forever to recover.
Yeah, any misses there is really, really punishing. Candy Jar is next. So this one is also a mashing game. You have to mash exactly 100 times. And the faster you press those buttons, the better, as long as you don't go over. Which he didn't.
Yeah, and you could see he was mashing so fast that some of the candy at the bottom was despawning. Doesn't have enough sprites to show all of them.
Next is Picture Frames. So this one is a precision game. The goal of this is to press the appropriate button to pull the picture frame into position so it's straight. And the real difficulty here is, first off, knowing where the picture is, but second, the amount of time between moving from one picture to another. Oh my god!
Oh,
Sub
jeez.
7, let's go.
Let's go.
Holy cow!
Well, there's a reason you're running this game. Next is Shaved Ice.
All right.
Shaved Ice is another mashing game. The goal of this is to press the appropriate buttons for the color of the ice cream in front of you. You have to press exactly 8 times, you can mash extra, and then it'll slightly punish you in terms of the delay of getting the next ice cream. So if you're hitting exactly 8 times, then moving on to the next color, the ice cream will pop up into place immediately, giving you a better time.
And if we hit the wrong color, then it just locks down all inputs for about a second.
Right. Next is eyesight test. Somebody want to talk about this one?
Yeah, sure. This one is pretty common pattern. Like you see right, left, or middle, and you have to press the appropriate button. One of the things is some of the pages seem to have a little bit of a randomization character that you can predict a little bit. Like some of them have more double taps than others. I think the first page, usually the pattern you can see is like, right, left, and the next one is probably down. It's probably like one of each. So there's some things you can do to like try to like blast through it as quicker than what's on screen at the beginning.
Yeah, also, the penalty
Next
for
is
missing is pretty
computer
short,
virus,
so you can just guess it.
Yeah, virus.
Next one is computer virus?
Yeah, virus.
Yeah.
And then sushi's going to be the last one.
Yeah.
So this one is a matter of pressing the buttons the appropriate number of times for the viruses that are in the panel. 2, 3, 1, eventually it goes up to 6, 7, 8. Everybody has a different style on this. It's a matter of what kind of mashing style works for you.
Yeah, and it's one of the games where you want to have a good idea of what you're pressing before you do it, because the order that the viruses is shot is randomized, so it can mess with how you count it if you don't like know beforehand how you wanted to partition it.
Okay, time will be coming up on Sushi when I hit the yellow button at the very end.
So sushi is one of the ones that definitely benefits people with better memory. You can see that the patterns across the top are always the same. So the ones that are in red are always in red, the ones that are in green are always in green. The randomization is just the order in which they come up. And then when they come up, you have to press the appropriate button in order to feed them the order.
And there's a trick to randomization because the first 12 pushes are always 4 of each color, and the last 3 are 1 of each for 15 total.
And there you go. That is all of the minigames in Bishi Bashi.
Yeah, so there you go. That's all the stages for the Bishi Bashi. Thank you so much for DEQ for letting us come out. If any of you have not seen Happy Feet's play Pump It Up, you should really stick around. He's going to be awesome. So we'll stick around and we'll see you there.
Happy Feet is amazing.
Yeah, I'm very hyped to pump it up. So thank you.
Excellent, excellent. That one totally always lives up to the hype. If you've been to a GDQ, you know that Bishi Bashi machine is always in there in the arcade room. It is always very popular and just amazing, just mesmerizing stuff right there. A fantastic run by billyjr82. Fantastic. Thank you very much for bringing that on. And we're not done with the rhythm game madness. No, we're not. We have Happy Feet's coming up with Pump It Up. Now, I got a little preview of this the other night, and this is just going to be wild. You've got to stick around for this. It's just going to be amazing. Just trust me. I wouldn't let you down. But thank you all again for joining us. This is Corona Relief Done Quick, powered by Twitch here to benefit Direct Relief. We are at $177,000. Thank you to everybody that has contributed. Please continue to contribute. We'll be going through tonight, and we'll be going through all tomorrow as well. Good little weekend event here to benefit Direct Relief. We got a few more donations that have been coming in during Bishi Bashi. We had a $33.33 donation from Armadillo64 who says, Bishi Bashi! And I agree completely. We have a $25 donation from Telperion that says, excited to catch Bishi Bashi. What a ridiculous game. Shoutouts to the SVGL crew. Miss you guys. Let's see, we have a $5 donation from Mice who says, love to GDQ for doing this, and whatever the heck Bishi Bashi is. All right, and we're going to go to a brief message to our sponsors right here. Direct Relief is a humanitarian aid organization active in all 50 states and more than 80 countries with a mission to improve the health and lives of people affected by poverty or emergencies without regard to politics, religion, or ability to pay. Direct Relief has responded to many disasters in the past few years, including Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Maria, the California wildfires, and the Australian brush fires. Additionally, Direct Relief provides medical aid and supplies to those in poverty, as well as medical clinics worldwide. Rated a perfect 100 on Charity Navigator, your donation goes the distance when you contribute to Direct Relief. You can learn more about Direct Relief's ongoing efforts related to COVID-19 at directrelief.org/emergency/coronavirus-outbreak. And also, we have Fangamer, official merchandise from Undertale, Metal Gear Solid, Banjo-Kazooie, Monster Hunter, and more. Check out new CRDQ merchandise designed to let you stay home and be comfy. And find out more at fangamer.com/GDQ. All right, and we are back. We're still getting set up for our next run here by Happy Feets. It'll be Pump It Up, the dance rhythm game. This is a little bit of our rhythm block coming up here. We got Pump It Up with Happy Feet still getting set up, coming up very momentarily. But let's get back to your donations that have been coming in. Thank you all very much for those as well. We have a $50 donation from Mirshana, who says, so excited for the Bishi Bashi run. Congrats to the team. JTE, I know you were going to do great. Dezavian and I are cheering for you, and they did a fantastic job. Just that Bishi Bashi machine is... Love it. We have a $5 donation from Kublex, who says, I played the Bishi Bashi at a convention. It was super hard. I got to see a playthrough. And we sure did. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for all the Bishi Bashi donations as well. All right. We have a $25 donation from Felix190, who says, cool seeing newer Konami games on GDQ. Go 573. I'm a little familiar with those new Konami machines. I've got a Silent Hill slot machine right behind me, so I'm a little familiar with that. $25 from Thomas142 says, $25 for a great run of Bishi Bashi. Now I understand more how WarioWare exists. That is a very good comparison, actually. $25 from Dare115, who says, this is my first time donating with GDQ. Thank you for supporting Direct Relief. Can't wait to watch Resident Evil 7 later. And that will be coming up very shortly, actually. I think that is after the rhythm block we have. Yes, after Crypt of the Necro Dancer, we will have Resident Evil 7 coming up. So that is coming up very soon. We have a $25 donation from Second Guest, who says, long-time watcher, first-time donator. I live in mainland China and wish everyone struggling right now the best. You're the best, GDQ. Let's go. $20 from Frank of the Midnight Fire, who says, happy to be able to watch and help support for coronavirus relief, even if it's with a small donation. Video games have done a lot for me, and I am happy GDQ is helping with our current situation through the power of video games. Y'all rock. And so do you. Thank you very much. No matter how big or how small your donations are, they definitely go to help the same cause. So thank you very much for that. $250 from Electro, who says, excited to see my favorite internet time sink and favorite charity helping out during these grim times. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for the $250. All right, we're going to throw it to a quick Twitch ad. Easy for me to say. We'll be right back. All right, we are getting shortly set up for our next run. Pump It Up will be coming up very soon, guys. A few more donations that came in. $50 from MDuo13, who said Bishi Bashi through those games at blinding speed. I'm almost sad the minutes were done quick. We have a $20 donation from Shady J, who says the Bishi has been Bashied. That was a crazy awesome run with some great commentary too. I agree. Just all around great run from everybody involved. And let's see here. We've got a $50 donation from Burry Tony, who says, today I learned what Bishi Bashi is and my life has changed.